Guess who's back? Hey everyone, my name is Americ and welcome to a brand new review for The Mentalist Season 6, Episode 14, titled Grey Water. Now as you can tell, I'm wearing my Red John t-shirt. I felt that, this was a t-shirt that I started doing my reviews with, and from time to time I want to bring it back. So I'm going to call this my Throwback Mondays t-shirt, in which from time to time I'm gonna bring back an old Red John t-shirt, and I feel for this episode it's very, very much appropriate. Yeah. Now before I delve into what worked and didn't work in this episode, let's talk about the story. There are two main storylines in this episode. One, there was a murder at an oil fracking site. It turns out that it was committed by the friend of the victim. And two, the investigation into the CBI killer led by Lisbon, Cho, Rigsby, and Van Pelt led to narrowing down the list of suspects to Richard Heibuck. Or someone else. Because, you never know. So basically what worked in this episode? I gotta say, that opening scene with Van Pelt and Rigsby was so good. I mean, it was stressful, it had tension, it had action. I was like, God damn, this is it, they're gonna go, no, not dead yet. And Van Pelt is such a mom, because I also like the fact that she comes in and she's like, how is she? If I was Rigsby, I would be like, man, she's fine, I'm fine too, I'm so glad that the investigation into the CBI killer was front and center in this episode. I was advocating for it because I really thought that part of the story was far more interesting than a lot of the investigations that we've been exposed to since they've gone into the FBI world. And I also like the fact that this investigation has a Red John quality to it. It's almost like it's Red John, but it's not. It's almost as cool, but it's not quite there. It's kind of, I like it a lot. And it was also good to see the team almost back together. Lisbon, Cho, Rigsby, and Van Pelt, the original four, back together, back in action, working together. It was so good to see them again. Felt like the CBI team was really back together in a way that really made sense, so that was pretty cool. Speaking of seeing people back, hey Lisbon! Good to see you again! It's been a while. How is it having a few scenes in this episode? Not exactly how I want to see her back, but we'll talk about that in what didn't work. Speaking of what didn't work, Jane stepping away from the CBI killer case to focus on a fracking case made zero freaking sense. I mean, they tried to kill Rigsby and Van Pelt, and Jane is like, alright guys, here are some suspects, tell me how it turns out. Dude, not cool. Not cool at all. And also, speaking of the fracking mystery, it wasn't even that interesting of a mystery. Let's put aside the fact that I don't even know why the FBI was there. I mean, literally, it was a local murder. Why is the FBI there? No, I'm not, it's a real question. I have no idea why the FBI was there. It just was not that interesting of a case. The guy was killed. Someone killed him. Turns out it was his friend. Okay, how was that justifying taking time away from what seems to be an imminent danger to your closest friends? Patrick, Jane, you have no other friends. Those four are pretty much it. So you might want to focus a little bit more on what's really important. And hopefully next week we're gonna get more of that consistency. But God, I was like, what? Yeah. Ugh. And not to harp on this whole Jane and Lisbon not working together in this episode yet again, I feel like it's kind of a thing now. I mean, at first I was like, it's just for one episode, and then, okay, maybe a little bit more. Okay, now totally you guys are just not working together. Now let's put the just been thing aside for a second, guys. But from a consistency standpoint, you spend literally 5 seasons with these two characters working closely together, and then now they're barely in the same room together and they're not even fighting. So you tell me, Mentalist writer, whether that makes sense. I'm gonna go with not so much. So you need to put those two together, or at least give us a legitimate reason why they're not together, because so far, so not good. Just saying. So basically, did I like this episode? Yes, I like this episode. I like this episode way more than last week. And I actually wish they had given us this episode as a return for the hiatus, because it had a lot of elements into it that I really, really liked. And I really hope that it's gonna start gelling together. We're gonna see Lisbon and Jane working side by side, and I think it's gonna be, you know, Red John-like. I'm looking forward to it. But anyways, that's what I thought of this episode. What did you think of this episode? Comment below and let me know. And if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button. If you're new, make sure to subscribe, because guess who reviews The Mentalist every week? This guy. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye. So I don't know if some of you are aware of this or not, but CBS has actually renewed quite a few shows, except a couple, including, you guessed it, The Mentalist. They haven't officially canceled it yet. It's kind of weird that they haven't. I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna keep it. I really don't know. Like, I don't know, guys. I'm not really feeling super sure about this. So, comment below, let me know. Do you think that The Mentalist is going to get a season 7? Do you think that CBS will renew this show? Let me know.